Hey, I'm Jillian Rose Reed, and I've been obsessed with design my entire life. Now I invite you to tag along as I explore some seriously unconventional spaces. We're talking everything from container homes to cutting-edge 3D printed marvels, architectural tree houses, a mini hobbit home, and much, much more, all with its own unique vibe. I'm on a mission to find out what makes living in the extraordinary so irresistible. This is Alt Home. Containers come in all shapes and sizes, but container homes, that's a different story altogether. This container estate features not one, not two, but 4 shipping containers, and fun fact, it even has a container pool. Let's go check it out. Hello, I'm Jillian.
Hi, Jillian. Sean.
Sean, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for having me to your beautiful home.
Absolutely. Welcome. Nice to meet you, too.
Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
When I learned I was going to be visiting a home built out of a shipping container, I couldn't really wrap my mind around what that meant. I was picturing just a traditional shipping container, and I figured that when you were standing inside of it, you would feel like you're in a shipping container. But it is the exact opposite. If you didn't see the house from the outside, which is also beautiful, by the way, you would never know you're in a home built out of 4 shipping containers. Sean, we are standing in this absolutely beautiful, spacious, bright, single-family home, but we're actually standing in 4 containers. Can you explain that a little bit?
You are. So this is 4 40-foot high cube shipping containers.
Wow, and are they all just kind of lined up, or are they mix-matched?
No, there's 4, and they're just welded together.
What motivated you to build a home like this?
So this is basically, it's kind of traditional construction. So you're basically just building inside, a metal shipping container. Yeah, and you wouldn't know the difference. As you can see, you walk in here, and nobody would know if they didn't know it was a shipping container. Nobody would know the difference when they're in here.
How many of these homes have you built?
To date, probably, I'm guessing maybe 15 or so.
Wow.
I would say.
When I think of shipping container home, I think of a more, train cart kind of galley situation.
Yeah.
Is this the biggest one you've built?
So this is one I own personally. So this is the biggest container home I've built. Typically, we'll do either single 40-foot like ADUs they're called, or our most popular models probably are double, which is a double 40-foot container.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why container home?
For us, it was just easier to build. So I have an existing company. I have about a 10,000 square foot location. So I already had a big warehouse. I already had a large yard that I could build in. I got approved through the state. They're what they call factory built housing.
Oh.
Yeah, so all of our models have state approved building plans. And it just makes the building process much easier, much faster.
Oh yeah, I'm in the planning process right now, the permit approval process, and it is brutal. So you are telling me that any container home you build, these plans are pre-approved?
They're state approved building plans. So the plans are approved by the state. So we have state inspectors that come to our facility and do all the inspections versus the local. When you're doing traditional construction, you have to go through the whole process.
Yep.
The local comes out here through the construction process, and they're doing the plan check. Wow. So it's easier for the customer when it's all done at our location versus doing it on site.
Shoot, I should have built a container home. I should have hired you.
Yeah.
Well, this is absolutely stunning. I can't wait to check out more of the space,
Sure.
This incredible view. Can you show me around?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
A lot of times shipping containers are being used as ADUs, accessory dwelling units, but this is an entire single-family home made out of a shipping container. It's really fascinating. Sean was talking about how using a shipping container to build a home, it still has all of the elements of a traditional home, but because of the state-approved building plans, you can actually make a shipping container home way faster than a traditional home, which is very appealing. There's such a calming feeling when you're in this home. You used a lot of neutrals, some pops of orange color. I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, that you kept everything a little bit more neutral because of this incredible view that you have. Is that right?
I did, and what's interesting, for the desert, like the first color that pops into my mind is orange for some reason.
Makes sense.
So, I got the orange pillows. If you notice, the door is orange, and like the flooring is more of a desert color. One thing I wanted to do was take advantage of the view, so that's why I try to do like, larger, bigger windows. Try to do like an open concept, where when you walk through the door, you can see straight through, out the back, larger windows, and see out to the view.
Oh yeah, I mean, you walk through this door, you never want to leave after seeing that view outside. And I can imagine when the sun is setting, these pops of orange really speak to the sunset.
It's beautiful.
I think my favorite thing about this house is the way that Sean utilized the views. I mean, there's basically panoramic views from the entire shipping container home. It really makes the space feel spacious and bright and open because it's not super massive, but you would never know that. Once you're inside and you're looking out at the beautiful desert, it feels like a giant home. Do you live here full time?
I don't.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You're missing
So
out
I
on
need to
that
take
view.
advantage more of coming out here because, that's why I built it.
Yeah, absolutely. I come to the desert often and I could totally see my friends and I hanging out in this place, looking at that view and hanging out in those amenities.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome anytime.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Let's
cool.
check out the kitchen.
Okay, great.
So here we are in this beautiful open concept kitchen and dining. I can imagine a lot of really wonderful dinners happening here watching the sunset.
Sure.
I did notice something.
Okay.
The beams overhead. Are these the shipping container seams?
Correct.
Wow, so this is how you can really see that there are 4 shipping containers. That is so cool.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where you can see the connections between one shipping container to the next one. So you can look at the seams going across, the entire kitchen here and the living room.
Which is kind of awesome because it really just accents the design of the house. You don't look up and go, oh, that's a shipping container beam. You just see a beam that looks really beautiful in this new modern home. Speaking of all of the beautiful windows and natural light coming in, how do you cut a hole in a container? Did they already come with holes or how'd you get these windows in here?
No, I start with a butter knife.
And you just
And I
chip
just
away.
kind of chip away at the thing with a little hammer. Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes me about 2 years to do it.
Wow.
But yeah, somehow I finally get it done. So all kidding aside, so they come as a normal shipping container. A normal, we actually either have to use a new or one-trip shipping container. And so they come just like you see them on a truck.
Yep.
And we have a thing, what they call like a plasma cutter. It's almost like Darth Vader with his lightsaber that cuts holes through the whole thing. And so we use a plasma cutter and a grinder.
It's really interesting that Sean cut all of the windows in the shipping container with a butter knife. Would have thought he would have used cuticle scissors.
Yep.
It's interesting you mentioned the actual just shipping container like you would imagine seeing on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Because standing in this kitchen, it's so beautiful and it's so open and it's so clean. It's really hard to imagine that this was once just a shipping container.
It's interesting. That's one aspect of this business I like. You're starting with nothing. It's just like an empty shell, and then you're creating something and you're building something within that steel box.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so here we are. This is the primary suite, right?
It is.
Talk to me about the inspiration in this room.
So this is the master bedroom. I think the inspiration is really to take advantage of the views.
Incredible.
Yeah, so you can see, I try to do a little bit, larger slider in here, and obviously, the view kind of sells itself. So
It really does. I mean, how can you wake up in a bad mood when you wake up to this view every day?
absolutely, that's just kind of how I feel. Like, you're here, and it's almost like you're in nature, which I like a lot. And then, we did this big skylight over the master bedroom. So that's pretty cool as well, too.
So I'm guessing at night, it's really perfect for stargazing.
It is.
I could lay there all night and stare at the moon. Beautiful. And I also see you have a little shade over it, so you can cover it, too, in case you want to sleep in all day.
You can. Yeah.
Just like throughout most of the house, I'm noticing this beautiful bathroom behind us. Everything's brand new. It feels open. It feels bright. It feels clean. I feel like you've honestly created like the perfect desert B&B.
Thank you.
And not to mention, there's another bedroom and another bathroom. So this is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 4-container shipping home.
Correct. It is.
That is crazy to think you could fit 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms inside of a shipping container.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I think we got to talk while we're here about the main attraction.
Okay.
The outdoors. Tell me what went into this beautiful backyard.
Sure. So the deck has more square footage than the house itself.
What?
Yeah. So I wanted plenty of indoor, and I wanted to be an outdoor experience too.
This is like the ultimate relaxation backyard. You've got a pool, you've got a hot tub, you've got a fire pit, and you've got a hammock that I'm about to go take a nap in. See ya.
So you have the huge deck, you have a 20-foot container pool out there.
Wait, the pool.
The pool.
There are 4 shipping containers that make up this home, and there's a secret 5th container. I'm sitting on it. It's a container pool. What? Talk to me about the pool also being a container, because that is very cool.
Yeah, so just to kind of fit the theme of the build. So instead of, I could have did something that was traditional, but it being a container home, I had to do a container pool.
I love it. Yeah. And you got the hot tub. I mean, this is like the ultimate desert party home. You can kind of get everything here. You did such an amazing job. Thank you so much for allowing me in this space. I've never been inside of a container home before. This is my first one. This is very cool. I'm very shocked. I'm very amazed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so
much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for coming in.
All in all, this house is so cool. I would have never imagined such a beautiful, warm home to be built in a shipping container. Pretty alt home, if you ask me. Seeing Sean's beautifully finished container home was so special, but I'm curious to see a little bit more how these things are built. So I'm gonna go visit Kylie, who is building a container home and a modular home, multiple structures on this beautiful desert property. Let's check it out.
Come on in. Be careful of the steps.
Do I need a hard hat to do this interview? No? Okay. Ooh, that was quite the climb.
Yeah, we're clearly in construction.
Wow, I have so many questions, but before I get into this beautiful space, I would love to just meet you. Meet this guy. Who's this?
So I'm Kylie and this is Dawn.
Hey, Dawn, it's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's been a part of the process of building this too.
I love it. And you yourself have an interesting story. I mean, you're a soccer champion, but you're also a female project developer. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I played soccer in college. I actually won a national championship with UCLA in 2013, and then I worked in commercial real estate, and then this was my first foray onto my own project, building these modular houses out here.
Wow, what brought you to the desert?
I started coming to the desert in 2019 and I just fell in love. I think a lot of people can say that. Just the peace that it brought me coming from San Diego and then previously LA, I always felt like really calm and relaxed here, and I wanted to create a space that felt that way too.
So you really want to create this space to be a communal space. I heard you do yoga. Tell me a little bit about what you want to use this for.
Yeah, so my mom is a yoga teacher. She was literally teaching yoga with me in the womb. And so we'd always talked about creating a place that she could run retreats out of and her friends could run retreats out of. So that's kind of what we're doing here. It's 20 acres and this is the first 2 houses of a It'll be an 8-unit development after it's done.
Wow, you're developing 8 properties.
Yes.
And are they all going to be different? Are they going to be a mix? I know this one's modular. There's a container back there.
So there'll be a mix ranging from 1 bedrooms, which is the container homes, so 1 bedroom, 1 bath, to a 4-bedroom house. So, and then this is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath that we're in right now.
I mean, you can't beat these spectacular views. No
Yes.
wonder you want to come here and do a yoga retreat. So now this home in particular is what we call a modular home, correct?
Correct.
Can you explain what that is?
So a modular home is built in a factory or off-site, and this one came in 3 pieces. So there'll be what they call mod lines running through, and when it's shipped, it looks like the same way a shipping container. It comes on the back of a truck, they're hauled in here, and they're craned and set down on the foundation.
Wow.
So it's quite a process. And so this one came in 3 pieces, and then they weld them together, and then they attach the roof. So this is pretty close to the state that it comes in. This hardy board was put on the floor, but all the electrical's done, all the plumbing's done, but they run the connections through.
Is this the main living space?
Correct. Yes, so we're actually, the dining table is gonna be right behind me.
Okay.
And there's gonna be a 30-inch disco ball that I found from like a vintage market. Yeah, it's gonna be very cool right when you walk in. And then this is the living room. And we did these beautiful built-ins over on the side. That's a desk in the center, and then it'll be full of bookshelves. And I'm a big reader, big like book talker. I don't know if you've heard of that. And so I had my friends send me their favorite books. And so we're doing a library with all my friends' favorite books in it, which is gonna be really cool.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the ultimate girls trips here, aren't you?
Yes, definitely.
Did I just meet my BFF? Disco ball, curated books, yoga. I feel like we could be best friends. I can't wait to see this place when it's all finished. Tell me about like your design inspiration.
In our kitchens, it's white and green, like this really pretty sage green. So we tried to play around with color and fun and make this an inviting, fun place for people to come to.
Absolutely, and I love desert properties that bring in green and like desert kind of colors into this space to really have that kind of indoor-outdoor feel that you want when you're living in California.
Yeah, we were inspired by the desert sunset, so it's like all the colors that combine through that.
You know what's also inspired by the desert sunset?
What?
My hair color.
I'm
not kidding. When I go to the
love it.
salon, I say, give me desert sunset. And here we are. Well, that's amazing. I would love to see the rest of the property. Can you show me the bedrooms?
Yes.
All right,
let's
let's
go.
Okay, I'm seeing more incredible views. I'm seeing a bathtub. Is this the primary suite?
This is the primary bedroom, and we have a lot going on in here since, again, we are in construction.
Yeah.
But yes, we have a clawfoot bathtub in there, a beautiful window. We're doing this full quartzite floating vanity with integrated sink. It's gonna be really pretty.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it. Tell me about the design inspo for the actual bedroom here.
Light.
Yep.
Lots of light. So you'll see there's a bunch of windows. We have our sliding door that's gonna open out into a deck out here.
Beautiful.
And we actually are gonna have an outdoor shower right outside the primary, as well as an indoor shower in here.
There's just something so much cooler about an outdoor shower.
There is. It just, especially with these views, you have to take it in, and you can get like the full 360 view while you're showering. Who can beat that?
You literally cannot beat any of the views in this place. This is incredible. And to see it while it's being built, honestly, it's really a treat. I can't wait to see what it ends up being, but you've done a beautiful job already.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so I know you said the home came in multiple pieces that had to be put together. Is there anywhere on the property that you can actually see where the pieces come together?
Yes, the best place to see it is outside.
Ooh.
So we can go take a look.
Let's check it out. Let's go. Oh my gosh, now I can see it. It's literally 2 pieces come together and stuck with what looks like Play-Doh. I'm assuming it's not though. Tell me about this process.
So this house came in 3 modules, and this is the first end of the first module here. So as you can see, the plates are welded down here to the foundation, and then they put this in between to insulate it.
Wow, that is really cool to see it all come together. So what about the windows? Did you have to install these once it was here, or how did that work?
So most modular homes come with the windows installed because they had to already cut it out, so they had to make sure everything fit. Some people take them out and put them back in, but for the most part, it's pretty safe travel.
Why build a modular home in the desert?
So for me, there's a couple reasons. One, there's a focus on sustainability and limiting the impact on the local environment. So modular construction and the container home construction really help with that, limiting excess that is left out in site, excess material that doesn't need to be used, and using mostly metals. Most of the metal in this building is like 90% recyclable.
Wow.
Yeah, so it has a lot of benefits for sustainability, but then also, if you're in more remote places, you have the benefit of like a really strong, superior build.
Tell me about, obviously you need water out here.
Yes.
How do you do that?
So this house has a well
Okay.
that I had to put in.
Yes, you did. How'd you do that?
So the process, and this was my first time ever doing a well, and it was kind of scary, and there's like a lot of stuff that went into it that I had no idea about. So it started with, you have a well witcher come out, and what happens?
Wait, I'm sorry, a what?
A well witcher.
Does he have a little magic hat?
No, and he'd probably get offended if I said that. But it is actually called witching, and so they come out with these metal rods, and they walk around the property, and when the metal rods touch, that means there's water in that location. So they walked through my whole property, and they found 2 locations that were viable to drill a well.
It's so crazy that Kylie had to call a witch to come and find water for the well. So the entire well situation is actually really interesting. Kylie had to hire someone to come out, survey the land, find where the water potentially is, and then dig for it. She dug 240 feet just to get enough water to service this whole house. How cool is that? It seems like a big, commitment to take on a project like this, but someone like you, a champion athlete, a project developer, this seems like you're the type of person to take something on like this.
Yeah, it's been a big project, but it's been really fun, and I think it's all gonna be worth it once it's all done.
I can't wait to see it when it's done. Why don't you walk me around back and show me what you got going on back there?
Yes.
Okay,
let's
do
go.
it. Okay, so here we are in your future beautiful desert oasis backyard. Tell me the plan for back here.
So this is all going to be decking, and if you could see behind me, I don't have the containers for the ADU yet, but I do have a container right here, and it's going to be a container pool.
What? Wait, okay,
Yes.
So does this stay above ground or does it go in the ground?
So it'll be flat with the decking. So if you see, it's like the
Wow.
same height as the where the slider is.
Yep.
So the decking will go completely flush with the pool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do sunset yoga out here on the deck?
100%.
You have to invite me. I'm coming and I'm bringing all my friends.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. I also noticed looking back here that you have another slab over there. What's going on in that section?
So that's going to be the container ADU.
Okay.
And that's what's called the stem wall foundation. So when you order a container home, you have to build the foundation for it.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different foundations you can do. We had to do an elevated foundation out here. So we went with a stem wall. The containers come in 2 pieces, and then they're welded onto that stem wall foundation.
Okay, so you said it's a pool.
Yes.
But I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around it. Can I look in? Can I see it?
Yes. And I'm actually opening it for the first time, so we
fun.
can do it together.
Oh yes! Okay, we're gonna open the pool. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Ooh, the first cut.
It's construction ASMR over here.
Construction ASMR. I'm echoing. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, and if you look in here, you can see the ridges of the original container.
this is absolutely beautiful, and now that I'm seeing it all unwrapped, it really does come ready-made, huh?
Yes, so you have all of the cleaning devices, the motor, everything ready to go.
Wow.
I got, you can add a cover, you don't have to get it, but this is a motorized one that comes on it, so it's remote controlled like a traditional pool cover. And actually, we could plug it in today, fill it up, and go swimming in it if we wanted to.
No way. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it must be more cost effective to do a container pool, right?
Yeah, for the most part, you don't have to, and for better from a impact on the environment perspective, you're not digging down below. But yeah, definitely more cost effective. It all comes in one piece. And you can, like, I modified this to have a hot tub. You can kind of change it around however you like.
Well, Kylie, thank you so much for having me. It's been so amazing to see this in process, to get a first look at the pool, at the modular home. I cannot wait to see it when it's done. You have to send me pictures.
Yes, of course.
And I will be back to stay in that container home.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks.
And come anytime.
I'll be here. This has been a really awesome day. I got to hang out with Kylie, who's a soccer champ and female developer. I got to see Sean and his container home that was completely finished. Not to mention the views on both of these properties, to die for.